Pray to God. Praying to God.
Coming up this week, I got nothing. What the hell did we just watch? What the hell did we just watch?
We watched awesomeness.
Star Wars just became an entire other galaxy, bro.
Yeah, things just got really, really real. So stick around. Clone Wars Season 3, Episodes 13 through 16 this week on your Star Wars safe space. Don't go anywhere.
Press record. No, I'm just kidding.
I did press record, yes.
Good.
Because I look at it and it says stop recording. So, all right. I try to make sure every time now because yikes. Put these on. All right. Man, we are still a little frazzled from that watch. Wow. All right. Howdy, Star Warriors. Welcome to Star Wars Safe Space, your non-toxic, low-sodium Star Wars show that doesn't make you feel bad for not knowing that George Lucas originally intended the lead role in Star Wars to be an 18-year-old girl, but then opted to change to a boy that we know as Luke. And we wouldn't see a female lead again until Rey in The Force Awakens, like 40 years later.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. So whether you're a hardcore fan or just a little Swarsy curious, this is your Star Wars safe space, and we are the Circle of Nerds. And we do absolutely love Star Wars, even though we don't always like it. So there's a couple times we haven't liked it, but we'll see what happens. But not this week.
Not the case this week.
Not this week. All right, so let's meet the crew, shall we? So from my left, your right, star of stage and screen, it is the sensational Sherry.
Hello, everyone.
Look at her looking like a Saj Ventress a little bit there.
Just a little bit. I gotta get the stuff.
The little stripies on there.
Yeah.
There you go.
But it's cold in the lair, so
it is cold down here in Daddy's dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little chill. He likes to keep it that way. It keeps our nipples hard.
That's true.
That's the reason for the
something to look at.
The show. And hailing from parts unknown, it is T to the Oni.
Welcome back to the galaxy, everybody.
And coming to you almost live from the Outer Rim territory of Boss to Ween.
Why almost live?
Because they're not going to watch this live or listen to it live. So it's almost live. Like, we're recording it live, obviously, because we're alive.
Right.
From the Outer Rim territory of Boss to Ween, it's Daddy Louie.
Hello.
Boss to Ween, it's Daddy Louie.
Hello.
That's all you got.
That's all you get.
I'm not okay.
You are a bit taken aback.
Yeah.
You are frazzled. You are befuddled. All of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah. We literally.
Emotional damage.
Yeah. We literally just got done watching episodes 13 through 16. And we hope that you did your homework and watched with us because yikes. Yikes. So I'm supposed to introduce myself. Yeah, so anyway, I'm Tommy D. All right. Whew. We have a lot to unpack this week.
I mean, it's 11 and Tony and I are drinking.
There you go. So what are we doing here? Well, aside from trying to heal our emotional wounds from this last batch of episodes, we're on a mission to watch every Star Wars film and TV show in sort of chronological order based on the will of our Lord and Savior, Dave. Oh, hail, Dave.
Hell, Dave.
And yeah, and so maybe hopefully learn something about ourselves along the way and a little bit more about Star Wars as well. We learned a lot about Star Wars today.
Yeah, we did.
Nike. Well, so, all right. So a word of warning, there will be spoilers. So if you didn't do your homework, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, watch it and come back. Pause. We'll wait.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed it. All right. So let's. We're gonna get on to it. But do we have news?
No.
Okay.
I'm. Yeah.
Nope. There it is. That's okay. No news is good news.
We're a little frazzled.
Little frazzled. Yeah. A little frazzled. No news. Do you guys remember? You two probably don't. You may. But you were outside playing while I was inside watching TV as a youngster. True. So there was a show, I believe it was called The Great Space Coaster. No, do you remember that?
No.
It's a great space coaster.
No, you were in the house more than me.
On the Great Space Coaster. Get on board.
I was
No.
outside.
So they had a skit on there where it was this like newscaster. His name was Gary Gnu, and he was a Gnu. So I think, or maybe it's pronounced a new. It's like
I think you're going off a tangent.
I am, but it was a goat like. It was a goat. I'm getting there. Just trust the process.
Oh.
He was like a new is a goat like creature.
Okay.
Keeper of the lore. Lore master? Can you look that up for us, please? It's a GNU maybe. Is it? But anyway, it's like a goat like creature.
GNU, goat-like creature.
Something like that, yeah. So, but he would start the show with, "I'm Gary Gnu with the news, and no GNUs is good GNUs with Gary Gnu." So we have no
You sure you
news.
didn't make this up in your mind?
I promise you. You can even look up the Great Space Coaster or look up Gary Gnu. No,
Space Coaster.
yeah.
Okay.
No GNUs is good GNUs.
All right, let's move
with
on.
Gary Gnu. He was kind of like a Walter Cronkite type of character. I know you guys have heard of. And that's the way it is.
And that's the way the
I
cookie
might have to leave.
Kind of a weird greenish color with a red suit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was like a puppet.
Yeah, they were all puppets, yeah.
You're like, oh.
Yeah.
I never saw that.
Gary Gnu. But I never knew if it was pronounced GNU or new. I don't know. It doesn't matter because we're talking about Star Wars and not the
Well, it's new.
It's
Okay.
new, right?
Yeah.
The G
All right.
is silent, I would imagine.
I
So
would
you know what the
imagine.
creature is. You've seen these creatures.
Well,
I'm
looking
seeing
at it.
right
You're
now
familiar
on
with
the-
these creatures.
On
No.
his computer, I can.
Is it a goat-like creature? Is that what it is?
Kind of is. I mean, because of the coloration, like the nose is prominent, but I don't know that I would necessarily
I
call
think he
it a
is
goat.
a goat-like creature.
Is it a goat-like creature?
It's fine. All right.
Is it a cloven-hooved beast?
It is not a
it's-
cloven hoof.
No.
No. Is it?
You're
Does
just-
it
But it has
fly?
like the long beard in the
Yeah,
front,
yeah, yeah,
like a
that's what I
goat
remember.
does. Yeah.
We're losing. We're
It
going
does
off
have
task.
that. But it
Okay.
has green skin, so I don't know.
The new, like an actual real life new, or Gary
Oh,
Gnu?
no. What, Gary Gnu.
Gary Gnu. Oh,
What are you
I don't think
talking
it's
about?
GNU. I think it's new.
is it new?
I don't know. Can we
It's
get a
like
clip
when?
of that?
Can we get a?
I'd like,
like
to
a-
watch it now. He's
Okay,
made such
we're
a,
not
like,
watching it.
I want to hear it.
We have to go with the show.
Okay, so
You're off on a tangent.
I am. So last week we talked about we had the Night Sisters, and now we're getting to look at the bros in this one, and we've got episode 13 with Monster and Savage Opress, and good Lord,
I mean, they hooked him up.
they did. I mean, but the way that they got him, I mean, him and his brother were just chilling in the village, but.
Well, and he kept saying, like, just don't put attention on yourself. And I'm like, well, then don't go up there. Like, did you have to go out?
I think
Like,
maybe
it's-
they did. I think maybe they
Oh.
did. They may have been like ridiculed by the rest of the tribe had they not gone out for it.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, the rest of the tribe didn't go out for it. They were just in the back
That's what I'm
chilling.
saying. Why didn't he just stay in the back?
So they may not have known what they were getting into. Because later on, remember later on when Anakin and Obi-Wan go to the boys' town to ask about like what happened, and said that Savage was taken to be one of the Night Sisters' mates. Like
Yeah,
they took
I'm
him as a
assuming
mate.
that's what happens.
So is that what we think would
Probably.
would happen?
Yeah, and they have to show their prowess, and like you're going to make the strongest women because
And then
that's
they
all they
go-
make is women. So
Right, and then they go. Basically, it's like a booty call.
unless if a male's born, it just goes
Goes to the
back to the.
Back
But
to
they-
their planet.
Right, but they were also talking about Ithorians. So, and I thought,
So there is a planet.
yeah, and then
Probably with
there's
females. And,
So, but like Darth Maul's always been called a Zabrakian. So we've got Zabrakians and Ithorians.
maybe that was the original.
Maybe I don't know what is the difference between a Zabrakian and an Ithorian. Lord,
So,
all right.
so we'll find out.
We'll find out here in moments from now. We will find out.
Okay, so Sabrakian is the species.
Yes, Ithoria.
Dathomir is the planet.
Right.
But what's the Athorians?
Right,
A different
Ithorian,
planet.
a different
It's a
planet.
planet.
So Zabrakians, that is the species.
race,
Like,
yes.
okay,
Okay.
so
So they're just on a different planet.
but we found out they were brought from Ithoria to Dathomir,
Probably to impregnate the women.
probably just as they're just studying them out.
Maybe they're
just,
the warriors of their species.
Yeah, maybe.
So on their planet, they probably have a decent
selection.
Well, no, I mean, like,
On their planet, they got a
no, like they have women and men and babies and all that.
I'm sure they have a full
So this
society
might
and
just be
culture.
like a military camp. Like you get, you know, you get picked, or maybe you feel like you're worthy and go with them, and then learn and train and know that you're going to be a mate for one of these.
So are they using
Night Sisters.
Are they using the Zabrakians
As donors?
as sperm donors?
Yeah.
Because if so, wouldn't the Night Sisters have horns? Although we do see them covered up mostly, we don't really see their heads. Asajj didn't have horns though. Maybe the females don't have horns. Maybe the females are Zabrakians are born without horns.
Maybe.
No, they do, because if you go back to the Acolyte, which isn't a spoiler because we've already talked about.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The
Zabrakian mother.
Yeah, she had horns.
So she had horns.
So they definitely have females that have horns.
Right,
so.
that's right. Well remembered. So,
but she was the mother of
the twins.
Like she carried the twins. So
the twins didn't
maybe
have horns?
Zabrakians have some kind of just increased sensitivity to the Force.
It could be.
And that's why the Night Sisters choose them as their mates, because they're warriors and they're Force sensitive.
Because they didn't, and that I think that's
and
the
that
key
heightens
too.
their magic.
Yeah, it was Force sensitive because they didn't appear to have the Force or use the Force until they got juiced up.
Right.
I mean, yeah,
some of that Force juice.
Yeah, I mean, Savage got those gains. Like, I kind of want to like have that happen. Like, I mean, think about it. He just saved himself years at the gym.
Right.
Years at the gym, you know,
Not wrong.
counting macros.
I could use that fitness plan.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, can I get some dark witches to, you know, juice me up with some green shit? And
Are
then
they dark witches or
I'll
are they
tell you
just
what, if
witches?
my horn gets a
They're
couple
just
inches
witches.
bigger as a result of it, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with my horn getting a couple inches bigger, to be honest. I mean, I'd be all right with that. What? No?
It's just fine.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway,
And if Louis's horn gets any bigger, he won't even be able to stand upright. Well, he'd be a tripod.
Yeah.
Right? All right.
I don't know nothing about that.
So we've got Monster and we've got Witches in the Mist. Both take place 20 BBY, so we are getting closer to where we're supposed to be in the timeline. But you know, we've got a lot of manipulation going on.
Yeah, but I think Dooku, like, what the fuck? You're just gonna take Apprentice on after you just were told to kill your last one?
Yeah.
Like, maybe chill for a few months, fool.
But and he doesn't care. He doesn't
You're
care.
not supposed to have an apprentice.
Right.
Well, that's true.
Palpatine made that explicitly clear.
Right.
But he knew it was
You
gonna
ain't.
happen.
Well, that's the rule of two. I mean, it's known that the apprentice will kill.
But that's their focus every time. Kill the main master all the time. Like, that's all you. It's like there can only be one. Like the same thing. I know this is only two, but
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's got to train. I mean, he'd have to train someone else because
If
he
he's
wants to
planning
kill.
overthrow Palpatine.
which
Yeah.
But
we
this
know he
kinda-
is.
Right.
I mean, he did say that. He was like, you know, we will rule the galaxy together.
But this is kind of the first time that we kind of see Dooku say something like that.
Right.
I think he's
'Cause
tired.
he's always been like very, very loyal. So if he's even thinking about that, maybe he
Yeah.
just said that to give, you know, anger, fuel, whatever, to turn Savage.
I don't think so.
But if there is a chance that he does actually believe that, that's interesting because that's really the first time we hear him say something.
It
like
is.
that.
But I do think that with Dooku, I know we all know Palpatine is using everyone.
Sure.
But I think maybe Dooku, in his arrogance, is using Palpatine to rid the galaxy of corruption. You know, and as we saw from Tales of the Jedi, you know, Dooku doesn't like the corruption in the Republic, and he is willing to do some bad things to achieve
The greater
a positive end, for the greater good, exactly. So
What he believes to be the greater good.
right, you know, so he was ready to, like, when they were on that planet with the impoverished people, he was gonna yoke that senator right there. He was gonna sauce his ass right there, and Qui-Gon had to kind of stop him and talk him down. But he was like, he's corrupt. He's a piece of shit. He's got to die.
yeah.
You know, and that's his view, and I'm sure it's been clouded by the dark side as well at this point. But it's just it's a really cool dynamic because it's like with the Sith, because you don't know. Obviously, you can never trust a Sith, like at all. But it's like you never know who's playing who,
right?
And right now we're at this point where is Mother Talzin playing Dooku
and Savage?
Savage.
She is.
Savage, Palpatine. I mean, is she playing everyone?
Probably.
I mean, it's like everyone's playing everyone.
She's doing a Palpatine.
Yeah.
I believe she is the equivalent of the Palpatine.
I agree, although I think it's for a different end. Like Palpatine's whole thing is I want to have all the power in the universe.
Right.
The Night Sisters know that like she knows she can't win a full-on war. She doesn't have the numbers. So like her goal is not power.
Maybe just safety, just security. Keep the sisters safe. Yeah. Maybe keep the war somewhere else and keep the focus off of us. Mm-hmm. They seem to crave power, but not in the same way.
Well, she says
not like universal power, more like power within the Force,
power to defend.
Right, like
more or
like
less.
Palpatine wants galactic power.
Yeah.
Right? He's not just looking at force power. He's
right.
He's arrogant. He doesn't need to train anymore. He already thinks he's the shit on the force level.
Right.
Now he wants to show his dick to the galaxy and be like,
right. And the Night Sisters just want their planet.
And they want the force, they want their power within the force, not galactic power.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's kind of the difference between them. I still think that they seek power, they want power, they are power, but I think it's contained to what they can get from the force,
just the neighborhood
and what they need. They're really not trying.
Of it is about
they're not trying to go outside, like you said, the galaxy to do it. There's no need for them to show it off because they know they have it.
Yeah,
and that's usually a female's perspective, to be honest.
Sure,
right. That's why
we already know we have it. We don't need to show it off.
Yeah,
no.
Well, it's like, and that's interesting that you say that too, because look at the animal kingdom. It's always the male of the species who's got the beautiful plumage or does the big displays. Mm-hmm. Or they get into the fight to see who can mate with the finest females.
Like, all right,
and usually it's like,
do your shit, dummy.
Hey, look at so you've got the peacock and the peahen. She's just kind of like sitting in the back. She doesn't have her makeup on. Her hair is not done. And then you've got Gerardo over here, just like, hey, mira, check me out, huh? Mm-hmm. Hey, am I not beautiful for you? Mm-hmm. Yes. I don't know if that's how peacocks sound.
Unless she doesn't like you.
Yeah, and then she's just like, whatever, dude. And you're gonna go with Johnny Peacock over there. So it's just like,
well,
it doesn't
matter. What's the bug that takes its hits?
Praying mantis.
The praying mantis will fake dead when she sees one she doesn't want.
Kind of like ladies do. It's like, honey, hey, I'm sleeping. I have a headache. Right. I have a headache tonight. I'm sleeping.
It's not even. Yeah, it's just
play dead.
It's like, here comes Carl.
Fucking Carl.
It's always Carl. What a dork. No one wants to hook up with Carl. Well, you've done that. In the middle of the night, like, hey, baby, and you're just like. Like, I know that's a fake ass snore. Like, I know, I can tell.
You're like, I'm really asleep.
Maybe.
Saying. But here comes Carl.
Fucking Carl. So it's.
But when Javier comes by,
hey,
how do you like my plumage? Yeah, it's very nice. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I really do feel bad. Because like I feel like with Asajj, she's the only one who's just trying to legitimately do something.
Yeah.
Because she's the one that's been played. She is now playing Savage, but at the same time, not really, because, he knew what was going to happen. And she told him straight up, you're going to be my pawn. You're going to work for me.
Yeah.
So obviously he didn't know to what extent.
It's the killing of the brother.
Yeah.
That I think
that's where she
made it come through again. Yeah. Like, oh shit, what did I just do? Like he knows he had to do it,
right?
But you didn't have to do that. That was the mother. Oh, I have a prisoner for you. Mm-hmm. You didn't have to do that. There was no need. He would have served. I think he would have been a better warrior to them. if she wouldn't have made him kill his brother.
He needed that
he didn't
additional.
Need it, though. He didn't need it.
From their perspective, did he need it? No, but from their perspective, in order for him to be totally hardened and stronger in the dark side of the Force, he needed that extra push because, as we've seen with Anakin, love can be an asset or a liability, but sometimes if there's too much love, too much compassion, you're not thinking clearly.
I think for this situation, it was just the brother that he was compassionate for, not everyone.
He loved his brother, but he needed that final push.
I don't think so.
To just,
I will disagree.
Oh no, that's fine.
Because there was no reason for them to have him kill his brother.
No, I agree with you.
Powerful. He already knew he was going to be a pawn, and I think he would have worked with the Force, the dark side, just fine, knowing his brother's alive. Because then he wouldn't have to worry about that. So he could have fully immersed himself into the dark side. Then he just, but you see, he betrayed both of them anyway. I think because of that.
As long as there's any shred, and this is the dark side. I'm not talking about logic. I'm not talking about like human emotion. But in terms of the dark side, and we've seen this with Anakin and later Vader, is if there's even an ounce or a shred or a glimmer of compassion or hope left, then you are not fully committed to the dark side. It's not going to happen, because look at what happened look at what happened with Vader, Palpatine, and Luke in Return of the Jedi. Palpy had Luke ready to go, ready to just fucking fry his ass. Father, please. He had that little glimmer of compassion and love for his son. And then what happens? Papa Palpy gets thrown down the elevator shaft. Done. And that's that glimmer of hope. That's that spark that all these Darksiders are trying to squash and like get rid of. And because we've seen what happens when they don't. When you don't completely crush and subjugate.
Savage is badass and now on the loose.
And now he's on the loose.
So I do have one minor complaint about this arc. I wish it would have been one episode longer, because I felt like Savage's training was too quick. It was like Savage is given to Count. 5 minutes later, he's this powerful Force being. 5 minutes later, he hates Dooku. 5 minutes later, he's gone. So it's like all of those things happened in one episode. Him joining Dooku and him leaving Dooku all happened in the same episode. I would have liked to have seen a little more training and him have a little more.
I think it was supposed to be implied that there was some time.
Of course,
but I understand what
I would have liked to have seen it, I guess.
I understand what you're saying,
Maybe send him on one more side mission, because the mission that he went on where he killed the 2 Jedi, and I wanted to see maybe one more scene like that,
Like him kind of like going off on a couple other missions or something, just wrecking
maybe
shit.
a little more powerful.
Right. Yeah. And maybe even being a little more reckless. Because when he brought Homeboy to Dooku and he's like, you piece of shit, you weren't supposed to kill him.
Shit with the king.
I felt bad for the king.
I'm sorry.
He was just like
trying
to fly away.
When Savage was dragging him out
and his little head
his little head hit that bump. Animators, y'all didn't have to do that.
Oh, they were laughing their asses off.
Like that was a whole process. They had to animate the head hitting the bump. They had to add the sound effect because it was like clunk as it went by. You guys didn't have to be that extra about that.
They put a lot of detail into that.
You didn't have to be that extra. That was just inappropriate. You didn't have to do the king like that. He was super cool.
He was. I felt kind of bad. I was
he got fucked up.
He got fucked up.
It was just like, you saw his face. I was like,
and that was it.
He really killed him.
And that was it.
Yeah.
But so I think maybe we don't get to see more of his training either because he did go out untrained. He's going out sloppy. He's going out unfinished, and I think that was like the
Frankenstein.
Point. Yeah, kind of. But then we find out that he is going to be fully trained
by his brother,
who
is supposed to be dead,
Senor Maul,
chopped in half.
And you have a problem with that, don't you?
He's supposed to be dead.
I'm just saying,
like how did?
Okay.
I know yeah. That one I do know.
Sure.
I don't know a lot, but I do know that.
I mean, you're like, how can he possibly survive?
Come on, man.
The dark side.
Well, Darth Vader didn't. He lost legs and
right, but
he was
Vader
burned to death and
right. But Vader,
he didn't lose his legs at his spine.
But you can make a spine.
And again, the dark side. The dark side is a path to what things, but most people would consider to be unnatural.
Anakin lost it like just above the elbow on the arm.
So they made a tendon.
He got it below the knees on the, or just above the knees on the legs.
So
that's believable. In half at the waist.
But it's actually, I mean, medically, you can survive.
Oh, by the way, there's the fall too. Like it's not like he just got cut in half and landed on the ground.
But
he got cut in half and then fell down the shaft.
Force and probably
and he
something.
also fell down an elevator shaft, which we know is not necessarily a death sentence because Luke fell down an elevator shaft.
Obi-Wan, right?
Papa Palpy fell down a shaft.
Yeah.
So people getting the shaft is not necessarily a death sentence.
Apparently they use the force to
suck themselves into.
Yep.
Okay, well they can stop themselves from falling. So
I guess. But you just got cut in half. Do you really have the strength to force pull yourself?
I think that would give you more strength. Like, oh fuck.
The dark side is a pathway to abilities.
There's no pain because it was all cauterized.
He's not going to bleed out.
True, but you just got cut in half, bro.
But you just
got. It was shock. Like when he gets cut in half in the.
He was
in the film. He's like.
But it's shock.
He's like, oh shit, did that just happen? I just
you
lost.
Can see
there's a mist. There's like a blood mist. He's like, I just lost my wiener. I think that was the shock.
And that's the force. He's like, ah!
And again, I just lost my wiener. The dark side is a path
so what you're saying
to abilities that some would consider to be unnatural.
Similarly to how someone, somewhere, somehow was able to find Luke's lightsaber after he lost it down the shaft. What you're saying is there's a possibility that someone out there in the galaxy has Darth Maul's cock somewhere.
Well,
I think it's entirely possible.
In their mouth, or
no, like they have, like as a trophy, I guess. Like,
well, how about his whole bottom half?
You don't need it.
No,
you just need the wiener is the symbol of power.
It's true.
And we also don't know Zabrakian anatomy.
Some bounty hunters like trophy.
I need to add that. I need to add that to my Mandalorian kit now.
I bought you
Darth Maul's wiener.
Tattoo it black and red.
We can paint it.
No, I feel like that one that you bought for me is very nice, but I feel like Maul's would be bigger and uncircumcised. I just feel that I don't think that
and
red and black. I think that he'd have that. It would be tatted up too.
Little tattoos.
Yeah. Well, not little, but I mean, enough to cover the surface of his massive shaft.
I think you should take some time and
craft something.
Draw what you think the tattoos would
he's already got it drawn. I have tons of pictures.
Of Darth Maul's wiener?
It's not Darth Maul's, but it's just wieners.
Just studies.
Yeah, he had some. No, it wasn't just wieners. I mean, he drew graphic novels. Remember?
Yeah, I used to draw comic books, and some of them were a little bit.
They might not know
erotic.
That, but I do have it.
Yeah, I used to draw erotic comics.
It was very erotic, like lots of veins.
Oh,
very veiny. Very veiny. Very detailed.
Did you have to watch a lot of look at a lot of reference
he just
photos?
Looked at himself.
I just looked at myself. I mean, I don't need to go anywhere else.
As an example.
No, you just...
Let me just throw that up there on the table.
Just throw it on a table. It's a self-portrait. That's it.
Big dick in the locker room.
That's it. Sometimes I would put a mirror on the floor so I could see the underside and see the bottom. And I would just
out of control. That's
sketch it up.
Absolutely not.
You were the one that brought up my cock drawings. I didn't.
But you have them.
I sure do. I have drawings of people in various stages of dress and undress. There's pictures of ladies too.
Yes.
Okay. I don't want people to just get the impression that I'm just drawing dicks all day. I'm just like a fucking cock artist.
No, it wasn't a cock artist.
Yeah. It's just not a sausage fest.
I just said
on the drawing board.
It's a comic book with
erotica
in it.
Yes,
that's both men.
There were
and
ladies.
Women.
Yes, men and ladies. I feel like there were more ladies than men.
There was more ladies. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm going to give.
Could you tell them that, please?
There's more ladies. I swear.
Yes, lots of titties, lots of ass.
Lots of ass.
Lots of ass.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. No, that was.
Look, you're just pressing all.
I can't remember where there's.
Oh my
There
God.
we go. All right.
Remember yesterday you said that you were going to.
I was going to label them. It's too late for that
Actually,
now.
it's labeled on the touch screen if you go to the.
No, not
mine are.
This is the older version. You've got the new hotness.
Oh, mine actually say what it is.
Yeah, I've got old and busted. You've got new hotness.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, thank you.
This doesn't
And mine's
say
smaller.
shit. And yours is smaller. It is. So
anyway,
what were we talking about? Savage Opress and Darth Maul's penis. That's what we were talking about.
So we're done with that.
We're
done with that.
Let's go to the
Next episode.
Move on to Mortis.
Yes, I feel that once we get to Maul's story, because you already know that he was already alive through various spoilers of other things, so you already know he's alive. But when we get to his ascension, when we find him for the first time, when we see him for the first time, as Savage is going off on this quest to find his long lost brother, which is a great journey in itself. I'm not going to. Once we find him, in my opinion. And it's Sam Witwer, who we already know is just
fantastic.
Sam Witwer is a tremendous actor, both on screen and behind the mic in the voice booth. But he is also an incredibly knowledgeable Star Wars fan. He knows the lore. I mean, he is a fan. There was a video recently where he was being directed, and they were like, so when you pull out your lightsaber and blah, and Sam was like, so is it my original lightsaber? It's a double-bladed lightsaber. And the director was like, yeah, it's the first one. He was like, well, it probably can't be the first one because I lost that one. And it's like, and he wouldn't have had that because this happened on this planet. And then he so Sam is like, he is into it. He is very much a fan of Star Wars. So we got to get him on the show, man. He's just, and
he does more than just Maul's.
He does so many voices. He does so many voices.
But he also is
Palpatine.
Starkiller. Yes.
In
the Force.
Yeah, he was the voice and the face of Starkiller. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
He was the motion capture model and everything. Yeah,
fantastic.
And he was the voice. But no one plays unhinged the way that Sam Witwer does. And when we catch up with Darth Maul, he is, in fact, obviously unhinged. He lost his pee-pee. But the only other person I've ever seen play unhinged crazy like that was probably Mila Jovovich as Joan of Arc in, I think it's the movie The Messenger. I don't know why she didn't get the Academy Award for that. You don't really ever think about Mila Jovovich and Academy Award in the same sentence, but her performance in that movie, watch it. Please watch it. It's a great movie, and her performance in it as someone who thinks they're being spoken to by God or being used as a conduit, through which God speaks. Yeah. And then not knowing it's just, just tremendous. It's absolutely tremendous.
So speaking of gods.
Yes. Nice segue. Nice segue. I like that. There we go. Okay. Speaking of gods, moving on to overlords and the altar of Mortis.
Wow.
A lot happened here. Like a whole lot. Have we met the Force?
Yeah.
The keepers of the Force, anyway.
Well, but still, they're still
the father.
Ethereal.
Yeah. The father, the mother.
Father, daughter, brother.
Yeah, no mother.
Yeah, no mother. That was one of my questions. Like, what do we think?
Mother is the Force, clearly.
I would.
Yeah, you think that? You think mother is the Force?
Is the Force, I think.
And you've got father.
Because she had the two through father and then ascended.
Yeah. And she became one with the Force because she is the Force.
Correct. Right.
Okay. All right. So she gave birth to the light side and the dark side. And the father is there to discipline and keep them in line.
Keep them in balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So.
And they were in a holocron.
It looked like one. Yeah. Louis, you had said it looked like two Sith holocrons on top of each other. Yeah. So apparently the entire planet is encased in this thing, this structure.
Well, to keep them contained. Yeah, like he said.
So what are we thinking about this episode? Because I really don't even know where to start unpacking this. I mean, just talk about some stuff that you thought was cool, because there was just a lot.
Well, it just showed, because you can't talk about the whole episode. It's just too much. But once they get there, I think showing that Anakin is the chosen one, that he can control light and dark at the same time. So we know he's got it in him. He just has to choose. He chose poorly, I think.
He made, and you know what? We'll get to that. We'll get to that too. He made the Force. He made the light side and the dark side bend a knee to him.
Yes.
I mean, can we talk about that level of power for a second? I mean, like, we know he's powerful, but in no live action have we ever seen Anakin Skywalker or really anyone wield that level of power. In the Force Unleashed video games, we see Starkiller bring down a Star Destroyer, but even that is like,
no, but that's
okay. I mean, it's still, it's visually, it's cool to see.
Kenobi, he literally, friggin' Vader just literally goes, nope.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But that's Anakin, right? So
right.
He just went, don't think so. And
you're not leaving.
One-handed.
We'll
get to that. We'll get to that. Spoiler
but he
alert.
chose to not be that one. So he actually broke. No, this is done.
Yeah.
This is done. He broke the Force. I mean, he broke the Force.
So what are the, I mean, we heard what the father said, that, you know, the dark side will get stronger, you know, war will continue. I mean, can we really fully comprehend, you know, the impact that this is going to, I mean, because it's not like but we know the outcome. I mean, that's the thing. So watching all these is great. I mean, this is very interesting to me. Right.
But we know the outcome from this episode.
Right.
He chose the dark side. I mean, he's not fully dark at the moment.
Right.
But
he didn't choose it.
Well, he chose not to contain both.
He chose
when he could.
And I think that was
for the galaxy. He chose love.
Mm-hmm.
He chose love over the galaxy.
Because Obi-Wan said this could have repercussions throughout the galaxy, and Anakin said, I don't care.
But so did the father.
Right, and that's the point.
And he said, I don't care.
Anakin said, I don't care. I'm saving my friends. And that's a perfect example of why the Jedi, they have this broken view of attachment.
Because they don't teach them.
Right. Like, that's why I say it's a broken view of attachment. It's like you could still have attachment and have balance, but if you have love in your heart for one person, look how easy it is to force someone to do your bidding.
When he's like, I have a wife.
Right.
Well, you shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
I mean, basically, that's what he told him.
Yeah.
Why? You can't have that. And he can't.
He can't.
He couldn't have it. We clearly know that he couldn't handle it.
But we're seeing how much that love and that compassion and that attachment can quickly become a liability, because now you have to choose. Mm-hmm. You have to choose between the people you love, you know, because we've seen this in movies all the time. All the time, the villain will say, you know what, you can come after me, or you can save this person who you care about.
Oh, it happens in every thing we've ever watched, I think.
Everything.
Marvel does it all the time.
Right. Like one of my favorite representations of that is in the Batman and Robin. You know, the Clooney one that everybody hates. But, you know, and this is why you always lose, Batman. You know, chase the villain or save the bird or save the boy.
Yeah.
You know, this is why, you know, basically evil will always triumph, because good is dumb.
But it's not true.
It
happens in every Batman movie ever, I think.
It does. You know, Spider-Man, the Green Goblin did it. You know, save this bus full of kids.
Right.
I was thinking that one.
Or come after a girlfriend. Save the girlfriend.
I was thinking that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the hero, can sometimes usually find ways to do both, and that's what makes a great hero. Mm-hmm. And in this, we saw Anakin. He was able to save both of the people that he loves. But again, at what cost to him? Had he not had those attachments, then the outcome might have been different. And maybe he would not have become Darth Vader.
The literal light side of the Force just died.
Yeah.
No.
She did die.
It's in Ahsoka now.
There's always hope.
It has been transferred from, I mean, he literally, like...
He was that bridge.
Do
you think that's what happened?
Okay.
I mean, you could see the glow go from her into...
But that could have just been her life force.
The energy.
But I understand what you're saying.
I'm curious to see if they elaborate more on that, which I'm sure they will.
Like that would be, him and her would be the balance.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
That's interesting, but because really, I mean, if we think about it, as we know what we know about Ahsoka, Ahsoka is the most balanced Force user that we are aware of. You know, her lightsabers are white.
I wonder if it could have been.
Maybe because of that.
From this.
And then there's so much more that's going to happen to Ahsoka.
Because I never knew this happened.
Right.
I had no clue.
I mean, I had seen, like we had talked about, like, there's some references to this in the Ahsoka live action, but they don't. But they're small little. They're Easter eggs. Like,
okay.
So, but
we're getting deeper.
Seeing this and seeing that she literally got something from the light side.
You think that upped her midichlorian count?
It could.
And who knows what all of this means with midichlorians? Is this where the midichlorians like spew out from into the galaxy? I mean, we don't know yet. There's still another episode to go.
A god, a devil, and Jesus.
Another episode of this.
I'm not trying to be funny, but
there's more.
Like,
of
it's like a Jesus, Satan,
like the Trinity, like the Holy.
God. Yes, it's like the three. I didn't wear it today. Like my triquetra.
Yeah.
But
so there's always seems to be that too. There's like always in most
even
most
in
religious
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
his dad is a god.
Right. But there's always in most religious mythologies there's a good, a bad, and a balance.
Then a balance.
Right. There's always a yin and a yang. There's always, the positive and the negative pull. And this is no different. So it's just, now that positive pull has died and the father who's like wanting to retire and get a fishing boat and go somewhere and die.
Now he can't.
He can't. So was this this was selfish for Anakin to not take his place here. So by being, and they said that word a lot in these episodes, selfish, 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 and they were connecting it to the dark side. The daughter said, I am selfless.
And he is always selfish.
And my brother is always selfish. So did this get Anakin one more step closer to the dark side? Because we hear Vader's theme as they're leaving the planet. And do we? I
do like Louis' conclusion with Ahsoka taking in that energy. Now she's
the hope.
She's hoping to balance out. I mean,
and trying to balance
Anakin out, right? Because he's clearly leaning dark now. Now that she's got that light, maybe that will help try and bring him.
Well,
back to the middle.
We know it. In the end, it doesn't.
In the end, it doesn't. But
in the end, it does. I mean,
right.
The very end.
We just have a long way.
We got a long way. We got a long way to get there.
I don't know. Like
many people.
Obviously, we still got one more episode in this arc. From the way, and granted, I mean, there's hyperbole and storytelling purpose and all that. But the way that the father has described how bad losing the daughter is to the galaxy,
right,
tells me that something is going to happen before this arc is over that's going to change it. I don't know whether or not the daughter's going to come back. I don't know whether or not maybe the son is going to get taken out as well. But I don't think they're leaving this arc with it being this fucked up.
Yeah.
You think we're going to see some kind of closure to this?
Some sort of resolution?
I mean, not necessarily resolution, but the current status quo will not be the status quo when they walk out the door.
So a little more explanation. I got you.
Yeah? Is that what we're thinking?
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, it's up in the air because I have never seen these. So I have no idea.
I will also point out, because we skipped right over it, but you did point it out when we were watching it live, Obi-Wan's reaction to initially seeing the sister, or the daughter.
He's such a turd.
He was like,
so great.
He was behind Anakin. He was like, well, hello. And he like stroked his beard a little bit. He was like, well, hello. It's like,
how are you?
Obi-Wan, calm down. Calm down, my guy. It's like, he knows he's not going to do anything with anyone, but he still wants to flirt.
Well, yeah.
Like, he still wants to.
I think it's just part of his personality.
He must be a Libra.
He's got those little quips all the time.
He's like full of dad jokes all the time.
He's got the riz.
Right.
Yeah, he does have the riz. Right. Kenobi is like the riz master. He's like the Jedi riz master. But man, he's the James Bond of Star Wars. Just super cool. Ladies love him.
Although, James Bond definitely got his.
Oh, well.
Well, yeah.
Obi-Wan's not getting his, unfortunately.
So
I still say he is getting his.
Mm-hmm.
You think so?
There's no way he and Satine didn't hook up.
You don't? You think that
they did?
Yeah.
They created the beast with two backs.
Mm-hmm.
You think they did that? I don't know. He is the ultimate intergalactic tease. That's what he is. He is the teaser, like no doubt about it.
Well, he gets his way sometimes when you need things.
He does. That's why he's a great negotiator. That's why he's a great negotiator, because he's a total flirt and he knows how to turn it on.
Flirting and being nice gets you things. You don't have to do anything for it.
That's absolutely right. So now, I just want to touch on crazy possessed dark side Ahsoka. Creepy. She's like,
yeah.
She looked like the
creepy doll.
Annabelle doll.
Yeah.
She was like,
Something straight out of a horror movie.
like you would have picked her up in Spirit Halloween for sure.
Straight
like,
up. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Come play with me,
But now,
Anakin.
but I mean, it's canon, so you can cosplay that.
Yeah,
Good.
Dark Ahsoka, but not even Dark Ahsoka. I mean, she was creepy Ahsoka. Like, and then you're gonna have dudes like, I could fix her.
I do
I could
find
totally
it
fix her.
interesting that she got bit like a vampire to turn into it.
Well, that
that
guy
was a little bit weird.
The dude
but-
was giving off hardcore vampire vibes though the whole time.
Oh no,
yeah.
I know that, but and who is because he reminded me, and I might be wrong because I confused some of the faces.
Okay.
Was it Plo Koon? Who's the first evil dude? Like
Plo Koon's a Jedi. What do you mean the first evil
no, not
dude?
Plo Koon. Then we saw him in one of the movies. It's just his head, and it was like white with the lines on his face.
We saw just his head. He did look a lot.
Who are all the bad guys? Start from the top.
Seriously, it's kind of like you're kind of putting us on the spot. There's a lot of bad guys.
Bane, Plagueis.
Darth Plagueis.
No, not Plagueis. I think because he looks like one of the Inquisitors.
Right.
No.
The Grand Inquisitor.
He
that's
looks like
what
the
you're
Grand
thinking.
Inquisitor. Yeah, that's what you're. Look up Grand Inquisitor.
No, I know, but
That's
That's what you're thinking.
yeah. That's because he looks like
As soon as I saw him, I was like,
yeah.
I didn't realize it must be a race.
Well, the guys from Utapau. Remember the dudes on Utapau? They kind of look very like Nosferatu type, but
I
they're
do remember.
yeah. Sherry,
no,
no,
That's not who you're thinking?
no,
no. You sure? Okay,
no.
because they've got similar faces. Okay. I don't know what other first bad guy.
I don't know.
It's not Darth Smiley.
No,
Like where did we see this bad guy before? Do you know?
I don't remember.
Movie, comic, video game, TV show.
Dreams.
It's not Darth Plagueis.
No, Darth Plagueis he's a Mun. I think that's his race or his species. He's a Mun, so he's got.
I mean, Bane maybe a little. I don't.
Who is that guy?
Bane.
Darth Bane, but
see.
I don't think you've ever seen
No.
Darth Bane before.
No, that's not him.
So Plagueis is a Mun. That's like the banking clan guys. I think they're Muns.
I'll keep looking.
I don't know. Call up one of the Utapau guys from
Snoke?
Snoke just looked like he got hit by a bus.
Yeah.
But he has a weird, like, bald
He does.
face. I mean, I could see.
I'm still disappointed we never found out more about Snoke.
I'm hoping we still will.
Yeah.
Through the Mandalorian medium.
I think he was just a botched version of the Emperor.
I'll
a Bad Batch.
I'll figure it out.
He's a Bad Batch Emperor. That's it. Look up Utapau. Look up the guys from Utapau because they've got this like real weird Nosferatu look. They've got they almost look like they've got fangs. They've got the stripes on their faces.
Well, Snoke,
So
I know he looks creepy. He's got that guy's same head shape though. Like that would be him.
the closest thing that I'm thinking of with the son was just the Inquisitors, the Grand Inquisitor, because I think the Grand Inquisitor was from Utapau. I think he was. I can't remember.
I'm gonna
what the
have
name
to
of it
watch the movies because
We'll get there.
there was somebody that
So it's in live action, is what you're thinking.
Is it live action? Okay.
yeah, and he looked like the head of how in The Wizard of Oz, he's got the big head, and he talks. This is like the same.
So you're saying someone from a hologram?
Maybe it wasn't.
Was it a dream? Was it a fever dream that you had?
Maybe it was a different movie.
Maybe it was a different movie.
Fuck, I don't.
Well, we were talking about you did look up how the original version of Palpatine was a woman, and they superimposed chimpanzee eyes over her.
No,
and
that's
that was
true,
a big giant head in a hologram. Oh, could that have been it?
Man, I don't fucking know.
Zordon is also a big giant.
Zordon, you could have been Zordon from Power Rangers.
It's fine. No, okay. It wasn't. No.
I'm telling you, look up the Utapau representatives from what was that?
I'll look it up.
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
When they went to Utapau.
I don't know. The sun just looked really familiar to me. So, I don't know.
Grievous is here. He's up there on the... He's in my bedroom right now.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay. So move on. It's fine.
All right, so moving on. So one last question before we wrap up. So the Force is the Force.
Did we talk about all 4 episodes?
Yeah. Because remember, there's two episodes per thing, so we just kind of like combine them.
Oh,
yeah, we talked about everything.
Where did it go?
So we know that there's good and evil and, the morally gray areas throughout the galaxy that don't have anything to do with the Force. So there's going to be people doing good, people doing bad, with or without the influence of the Force, maybe. But the way this particular galaxy works, does the Force influence the choices of just everyday people who aren't even Force users? We do know that midichlorians are living in everything. We do know that midichlorians live in every single living creature and
some
thing.
Just manifest
and
more.
And some have more, yes. So with the loss of the light side with the daughter, do we think that's going to affect the goodness in people?
No, I don't
or
think.
Or just the light side, will it make the light side of the Force?
I think it's making less Jedis.
So
will the Jedi be weaker now because the daughter is gone?
I don't think their power would be weaker because they already have it.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be less children born because look how many Jedi there are. I mean, there's a lot. They're everywhere on every fucking planet in the galaxy.
Yeah,
so I think by her dying now is going to help with the order later.
Mm-hmm. Tony, Louis, what do you guys think? I agree.
I think there has to be some kind of implications overall with this, right? Like him. I guess that's going to be the determining factor going forward is how connected are these three, the father, son, and daughter with the actual Force? Like, how contained is it to where they are in the planet versus the overall Force as a whole?
Like, how much do they influence?
Right. Like, how connected? Obviously, within this planet, they're very strong. But once they leave the planet, then what happens? I think we're about to find out, assuming the sun leaves.
Yeah, because he said that. He said if he gets off the planet before you do, basically we're fucked.
Screwed.
Yeah, the galaxy is
interesting to see how that happens.
Maybe he's like a Q type.
But I think Ahsoka will be important in this next episode because I think that now that she has the daughter in her,
the living,
possibly
the living, more of the living Force
in her. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
It's in her.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. Calm down.
That's true. Let's not go there. But I think that she will have an impact going forward.
And she does have an impact on the Force. But I do see, as we watch even all the movies and all this stuff, just seeing this, there is less Jedis being
there's fewer Jedi. There's, people's connection to the light side of the Force may be diminished,
And as they kill off Jedi, there's not as
because
many
we don't know
being created.
Is this the actual wellspring of the Force? Is this where the Force comes from?
Well, 2,000 years.
A transmission from 2,000 years ago, yeah.
But it's just sitting out. It was invisible. They could not see it. So maybe it is a conduit.
Obi-Wan had mentioned that. He said it's a magnet. It's, it's.
Well,
what
did she say? She said it's a magnet, but it's also an
amplifier.
An amplifier, yeah. But the father was the one that sent out that signal.
No. I know, because he thought Anakin was ready.
Well, he wanted... No,
he was ready to go.
Well,
he was like, you know what?
Because
it's time for me to...
That's true.
He wanted to. Well, he wanted to make sure. Yeah.
No,
Dad was ready
dying.
to bounce.
He was ready for the
get
for that fishing boat. Yeah.
He was dying, and he's like, I'm tired. I'd be tired too. Control those two motherfuckers. Like, are you kidding
It's been
me?
at least 2,000 years, right? If that's the
Or
last
more.
time they've used that.
But that was just the signal.
Right.
Who knows how long that poor thing has been alive? He's probably like, I'm sick of these motherfuckers.
But to them, yeah. I mean, who knows how
Yeah.
they perceive time?
Yeah, it might be.
So, all right. So let me ask you this: had Anakin stayed, had he done his duty,
Would have been Star Wars done.
and say, yeah, we would have just gotten the roll credits, created by George Lucas, written by
That
Dave
would have been
Filoni.
a short story.
That has been a short story. That's it. No more Star Wars ever for anyone.
No.
But I don't think so, because I think that...
Just for the sake of argument, had he stayed, what would that have done to the universe?
Oh, you think... Go ahead. I got what you're saying.
Palpatine's story would have continued.
Because he's still...
Right? Because unless he knew something about this already, and maybe we'll find out. But
do we think Palpatine is aware of this?
I don't think so.
I don't.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I don't even think Yoda is aware.
Probably
So
not.
in my mind, the question would become: is the father so in tune with the Force that he's aware of what Palpatine is doing? And if so, and Anakin takes his place, does Anakin then become aware of what Palpatine is doing? And even though if he has to stay, does he then turn around and tell Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, hey, yeah, you need to not trust that guy anymore, he's fucked?
I think there's such... I think for the three of them, for the Force family here, I think anyone is such a small blip on their radar that they're just inconsequential. Because, I mean, for 2,000 years, people have been using the light side, using the dark side. We know about the thought bombs and Darth Bane and Plagueis and all that.
And so these creatures are just there to hold to
hold the balance.
Just to hold the balance.
I mean,
right.
That's fair. But
the chosen
Anakin
one...
caring about all of that, would he be able to use their ability to find that out, even if they don't know it themselves?
Sure.
I got you.
Like how much... Now, do they become, omnipotent? Like, do they know? Like, once you're in there, do you know everything that's going on? I don't think they're godlike. I mean, in power, they're godlike. But in terms of their, perceptions...
I think they're the keeper of the holocron.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically, they're like...
I don't know what else to say.
They're the keeper of the... They're the keepers of the Force.
But that's what I'm saying. They're just the keepers.
They keep the balance of the Force.
At least try to.
But that I feel like I feel like that puts them on a godly plane. To say that you are a keeper of the Force, and the Force is it's everything, right? I mean, you're basically...
I think of godly, but not as a worshiping deity. I guess that's what, for me. Like, you're not going to worship these, and maybe that's why they stayed away.
Yeah.
So no one's worshiping you, but you're still godlike. Yes, of course.
But remember, the father said, I'm keeping them out of the corporeal galaxy
to keep it safe.
So as
they probably ran amok.
Sure, potentially.
Time. Yeah.
But they're the keepers, but they don't influence it. So I mean, they
didn't.
They just maybe by keepers, they just allow it to trickle out into the galaxy. That way, there's not too much light side flowing out. There's not too much dark side flowing out. If we look at it in terms of if it's a fluid, you know, it's so that we don't have too much light fluid. We don't have too much dark fluid. They keep that. That's what they keep the balance for. Mm-hmm. But they don't have an impact necessarily on who does what.
No, I don't think it's an individual.
Well, I don't think they're aware.
No,
but when they might feel little ripples or pulses, but they felt the chosen one. The father did anyway, and that's why he called for Anakin to get him there. But then once Anakin gets in there, I feel like Anakin's not. He doesn't have the emotional maturity to handle that job. He probably
wasn't ready. At all.
Because the son would try to fucking take him out, and Anakin would destroy the sun, which would lead to the loss of the dark side in the universe, which, you know, at first blush sounds like a good thing, but you can't have light without the dark. You can't have dark without the light. It's not. You just can't
you can have it now because she's dead.
Right, but what's it going to do to the galaxy?
And that's what we're saying.
Right.
And like you said, since it's within Ahsoka, maybe that'll keep at least a little bit at bay.
So,
but it will lessen how many Jedi are born.
Unless by killing the son, then that really pushes Anakin even more to the dark side, and he becomes the dark side. Like, he becomes the son, essentially, but without any father to keep him in check. He becomes fully immersed. Like, he is the dark side at this point.
When
he would easily
Vader, yeah.
He would no. I'm talking about, like, let's say hypothetically he becomes the father. He takes over for the father, right? Mm-hmm. The son is going to come after him. There's no doubt about it. The son wants the throne. The son's going to come for Anakin. Anakin's going to wipe that dude out. But in doing so, that would also have him cross that line more into the dark side. He might get all of that power because, I mean, this dude is the dark side of the Force. Mm-hmm. So now Anakin becomes the dark side of the Force, like more so than he is as Vader.
I think
like,
if he would have stayed, it wouldn't have turned into that.
You don't think so?
No.
And then Vader kills the daughter. But he would have had
the maturity enough to actually do it. He doesn't.
He doesn't.
So, obviously.
I really think that he would have killed the son.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
If that dude came for him, you don't think he'd kill him?
I think if he was supposed to stay there, he would have done it if he had the maturity to do it.
Anakin doesn't really have restraint, though. I mean,
right. We know that because this all happened. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he stayed, do you think he has
with the correct maturity level?
But he does. That's what I'm saying. He would have stayed like right then and there. The father wanted him there right now.
I think if he would have made that choice, it would have been
magically
fine.
Reprogrammed his brain.
No, it's
and his
not
emotions.
magic. If he would have let go of his guilt, because that's what the father said. You need to let go of the guilt.
Yeah, but he can't do it. He can't do it.
No, but that's why it didn't happen.
All right, that's fair.
I think my big takeaway from this arc is that this is the first time watching the show so far in the 3.5 seasons where I genuinely want to go back and rewatch that arc because there's so much in there and it's so important, I feel, to this overarching story that we're deep diving into. I think this is going to be important going forward.
I agree.
So
I agree. And we're going to see
probably the most impactful thing I think that's happened so far.
I agree. Because that means dealing with the very nature of the Force. And Anakin's place in it.
Which, as we know, is the main focus of the majority of Star Wars.
Yeah.
The Force. So.
And even like the father had said, it's like, we're not Jedi, we're not Sith. The son laughed at the Sith idea. Mm-hmm. You know, that's like, we're things you can't even comprehend. The Jedi and the Sith, that's just like... That's how your brain is trying to make sense of things. It's just like the construct.
It's you guys just fucking around with it.
Yeah, your children playing with toys.
In the outside. Yeah, you're like, I have this ability.
Like,
me.
He was like, so you're Sith. He's like, yes.
And no.
And no. Yeah. And then when you said, and then the son was like, the Sith. Like, whatever. All right, so let us know what you think. Please, because we don't know what to think at this point. There's lots of speculation, and obviously for those of you that have watched all of this and you're already aware, you already know. But for those that are new to this, let us know what you think. Let us know where you're at on this. So that's going to do it. Does anybody have anything else before we head out?
No,
nothing.
I don't have anything. No.
All right. Our brains are kind of mushy right now, man. This is a lot to go over. So homework, watch episodes 17, 18, and 19. Catch up on our past episodes. And, of course, always be sure to tell your friends and your enemies to give us a listen. And before we go, we've got our obligatory pimping. So please do check us out on all social media at the SWS Show. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast and to our YouTube channel, depending on if you like to listen or watch. If you'd like some merch, head on over to our website, circleofnerds.com/merch, and you can get you some of this sweet merch like this very cool Obi fans. So if you're a fan of Obi-Wan, and who isn't, then you can do that. Look, we've got the Star Wars Safe Space merch right there. And then Daddy Lou is rocking that cap. And of course the Obi fans.
Oh my God, that's a different show.
That's a different show. That's going to be on our OnlyFans.
Oh.
So make sure you check that out. So As always, we want to thank you for joining us this week. Of course, you could have been anywhere else doing anything else, but you took the time to listen to us or watch us. We do appreciate that. And of course, we want to always say thank you to all of our service members and veterans out there for doing what you do and making those sacrifices and sometimes making those ultimate sacrifices.
This episode, if my timeline is correct, should release on Pearl Harbor Day.
Oh, all right. Well, that's good to know. So Pearl Harbor Day, if you are in the area, go and check it out. What is it? The USS Arizona?
Yes.
I believe that's where the memorial is.
Yes. And take tissues.
Yeah. I've only seen photos and videos and I get choked up. You're getting choked up right now thinking about it.
Yeah.
I've heard from people that have been that like the moment you even set foot out there, it's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. But but I thank them for their sacrifice. Absolutely thank them for their service and for the veterans who are still with us. I don't know if there's any Pearl Harbor veterans left.
I don't know.
I know we do still have some World War II veterans out there still just kicking ass.
Yeah.
So thank you, boys and girls, for that. I appreciate you. So, all right. And with that, we are going to wrap it up. Don't forget episode 17, 18, and 19 for next week. Watch that. That is your homework. And of course, as always, remember, if no one does anything nice for you, do something nice to yourself. And we'll see y'all next week. Bye.